Hello students, welcome back to the chapter The Three Questions. This is the third part of the video. If you haven't watched the first and second, go watch it and then come again later. So students, those who have watched, let us recap again. There was a king who was having three questions. He was searching the answer. He did not get, so he went to a hermit. The hermit was not replying to the answers, and then he was tired, and when he was about to go, that time there was a bearded man who came running. His stomach was bleeding, so the hermit and the king both helped dressing the wound of the bearded man, and the bearded man was unconscious and he slept, and the king was so tired that he also slept. So when the next morning the king woke up, the bearded man came to him and he said that forgive him. But the king said that why should he forgive him, because he don't know, and for what reason should he forgive. The bearded man said that he was his enemy. He was a very great enemy of him, and he had taken a promise, he had taken an oath that he will kill the king, because the king had put his brother, the bearded man's brother, to death, and he had taken all the property away. So this was the recap of the first two parts. Now let us continue. Let's get started. You do not know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore revenge on you, because you put my brother to death and seized my property. I know you had gone alone to see that hermit. I made up my mind to kill you on your way, but the day passed and you did not return. So what was the bearded man doing? The bearded man was waiting away for a long time for the return of the king, but the king did not return. Why did not the king return? Because he was digging the ground, and he was tired also. But the day passed and you did not return. So I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard, who recognized me and wounded me. So the bodyguard of the king, who was waiting for the king, he saw the bearded man who was a great enemy of him. He identified him, and he wounded me. I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wounds. So the bearded man is so much obliged, so much grateful to the king. He is saying that he would have died if the king did not repair the wounds by dressing with bandage. I wish to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now if I live, I will serve you as your most faithful servant, and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with his enemy so easily. So the king also was very much elated, so much happy that he was one of the greatest enemy of him, and now with so much of kindness the enemy has become so good, and he is asking forgiveness, and there is now peace between the king and his enemy, and to have won him over as a friend. And now that bearded man has become a good friend of him. He not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him, and he promised to give back the man his property. So the king was so good that he said that he would be giving the property back. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked round for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to get the answers to his questions. So before going back to the kingdom, the king thought that let me go and ask the hermit again for the answers. So the hermit was on his knees sowing seeds in the bed that had been dug the day before. The king went up the hermit and said, For the last time, I beg you to answer my questions, wise man. So now he is now totally impatient. The king is totally impatient, and the king is saying that, oh wise man, for the last time I am begging you for the answers. Please tell me. So the hermit is replying back, you have already been answered. He's telling what? You have already got the answers, said the hermit, still bending down on the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. So the king is totally astonished, surprised, and he's saying, how have I been answered? What do you mean? He's saying that, how did I get the answer? Then the hermit replied, do you not see? If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you would have gone away. then that man would have attacked you and you would have wished you had stayed with me. So the hermit is replying that if you did not feel bad, if you did not feel sorry for my weakness, if you did not feel sad for my weakness, you would not help me. But you felt sad for my weakness and you had helped me digging yesterday. And if you would not dig the ground, then you would have gone early and the enemy would have attacked you and you would have died. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds. So for the first time, the most important time for the king was the digging beds, and I was most important man, and the most important man for the king was the hermit, and to do me good was your most important business. And what was the answer to the third question? That to do the help, to give help to the hermit was the most important work. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him. So when the bearded man came with his bleeding stomach, that time when the king helped the man, that was the most important time when you were caring for him. Because if you would not have dressed his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. It was important time. Why? Because if the king did not help the wounded man, he would have died and you would never made peace with him. He would never have solved the enmity. So he was the most important man, and the bearded man was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business, and the help he gave was the most important work. So the hermit said, remember then, there is only one time that is important. That time is now. So let us understand ultimately what the question was and what the answers were. So the first question is, what is the right time to do anything? So the hermit said, the right time to do any work is now. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. Now is the right time to do any work because we can do any work in the present. We can only regret about the past, and we can only hope in the future, but we cannot touch the past, we cannot touch the future. We can only work, we can only act in the present. Then the second question was, which people should he listen to, or who are the people that is most important to him? So the answer to the second question was, the most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment, for no one knows what will happen in the future, whether we will meet anyone else. So the second question was that who are the most important people? So the hermit said the most important people were the people who are with you at any particular moment, because we don't know what is going to happen in future, or we will meet anyone else or not. And the third question was, what is the most important thing for anyone to do? So the most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into this world for that purpose alone. So the hermit said that the most important work for us, that the people who are with us at any point of time, at any time, whosoever are around us, we should do good to that people, because we were sent in this world for doing good. Remember students, when I started the chapter, I told you that there was also a question in my mind, that what is the aim of life? Now, after finishing the chapter, even I have got the answer of my question, which was haunting me from my childhood. The question was, what is the aim of life? The aim of life is to do good to the people around you. So students, I hope you have understood this chapter. Now I would like to ask you a question. If you have understood the chapter, I would like to ask you a question. Students, tell me, what is the right time to do anything? See, the right time for you to, right now, if you are watching the video, the right time for you to do is to study right now. So, and the next question is, which people should you listen to? If you are watching the video right now, you should listen to me, you should listen to your parents, because these people are all around you. And the third question, what is the most important thing for you to do? See students, you all are student, and the most important work for you is that you should study. You should obey your teacher, you should obey your parents. You all are in the lockdown. You should not disturb your parents. Take care of them and they will also take care of you. Have good moments with them. Cherish these special moments which you have been gifted. Maybe we will not get any more time with our parents like this again. These are the golden time which we have got, and by staying safe and following social distancing, we are helping the world to go better in terms of curbing this disease. Okay students, I hope you have understood that the most important thing for us to do is to do good to the people around us. This story, I have told you, this story has been told in many variations. A lot of stories have been made over this theme into different cultures. This story is actually originated by Leo Tolstoy. He was a Russian man and he has written a lot of very good books. And this story has been retold from his original story. So I hope you have studied well, and when you get the worksheets, try to solve the questions. Okay? Thank you and have a good day.